You're building your own mental prison, one routine at a time. Every morning ritual, every scheduled workout, every perfectly timed meal. You think you're creating discipline, but you're actually creating dependency. A beautiful, productive cage. How many routines do you need to feel normal? By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your daily routines aren't making you stronger. They're making you fragile. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Your morning routine isn't discipline. It's avoidance. Your workout schedule isn't strength. It's control addiction. Your meal prep isn't health. It's anxiety management disguised as productivity. You've convinced yourself that structure equals freedom, that routines equal success, that the more systematic your day, the more powerful you become. But look closer. What happens when your routine gets disrupted? When your gym is closed, when your morning coffee ritual is impossible, when your perfectly planned schedule falls apart, you don't adapt. You panic. You don't flow. You break. Aurelius Maximus understood this trap. Those steel blue eyes that could see through any illusion. He'd watched countless people build elaborate systems of daily habits, thinking they were building character. Instead, they were building chains, beautiful, socially acceptable chains that everyone praised as discipline and consistency. But the Stoics knew better. Real strength isn't routine dependent. Real discipline doesn't require perfect conditions. Real power adapts to chaos, doesn't avoid it. Your routines have become your emotional support system, your security blanket, your way of avoiding the fundamental uncertainty of existence. You wake up at the same time, drink the same coffee, follow the same workout, eat the same breakfast. Not because these actions serve you, but because they protect you from having to think, from having to choose, from having to face the raw reality that life is unpredictable. You're not building discipline, you're building dependence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But your routines do the opposite. They give outside events power over your mind. They make your internal state dependent on external circumstances aligning perfectly. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly confident without your routine? When did you last trust yourself to navigate a day without your predetermined structure? When did you prove to yourself that your character exists independent of your habits? You can't remember because you've never tried. The routine has become who you are. Remove it, and you don't know who you are anymore. This is the paradox of modern productivity culture. We've been taught that successful people have rigid routines. Wake up at 5 a.m. Cold shower. Meditation. Journal, workout, protein shake, planned calendar, batch emails, scheduled everything. And yes, these people achieve things. But what kind of person have they become in the process? They've become fragile, dependent, unable to function without their elaborate life support system of habits and schedules. Marcus Stone discovered this during his transformation. That distinctive angular jawline, those sharp shadows, they reflected someone who looked disciplined from the outside. His routine was military precision, every minute accounted for, every habit optimized. But inside, he was terrified, not of failure, of disruption, of having to face a day without his carefully constructed framework. The real breakthrough came when he lost everything. Job gone, routine impossible, schedule meaningless. And in that chaos, he found something he'd never accessed through all his perfect routines. His actual character, his real discipline, his authentic strength. Seneca understood this. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your routines aren't preparing you for life. They're protecting you from it. And that protection is making you weak. True Stoic discipline isn't about doing the same thing every day. It's about being the same person, regardless of what the day brings. It's about having principles so internalized that you don't need external structure to access them. It's about building character so solid that it doesn't require perfect conditions to function. The ancient Stoics practiced something called voluntary discomfort, deliberately disrupting their own routines, sleeping on the floor, skipping meals, walking in bad weather, not as punishment, but as training. Training for the inevitable moment when life disrupts their routines for them. Because life will disrupt your routines. The question is, will you still be you when it does? Start small. Skip one routine tomorrow. Just one. Notice what happens in your mind. Notice the anxiety, the sense that something's wrong, the urge to get back to normal. That's not discipline talking. That's dependency. Real discipline would adapt. Real strength would find another way. Real character would remain unchanged. Your routines aren't your foundation. Your principles are. Your habits aren't your identity. Your responses are. Your schedules aren't your strength. Your adaptability is. The goal isn't to eliminate all routines. It's to hold them lightly, to use them without being used by them, to benefit from structure without being enslaved by it. A truly disciplined person can access their discipline anywhere, anytime, under any conditions. Can you? The Stoics built their strength not through perfect routines, but through perfect responses to imperfect circumstances. They practiced discipline not when it was easy and scheduled, but when it was difficult and unexpected. Your mental prison isn't locked from the outside. You built it. You maintain it. You can also tear it down, but first you have to see the bars for what they are. Beautiful, productive, socially praised bars that everyone calls success. Freedom begins when you realize that your power was never in your routines. It was always in your capacity to respond to whatever life presents, with or without them. This is where most people stop. Don't be most people.